Wealth has different effects on people. For some, it turns them into jerks. For a few others, it makes them even jerkier. Hi guys, it's me, Essie Magic, and today I want to talk about why rich people are jerks. I mean, I think I know why rich people are jerks, but I thought it would be fun to search it up on Google and see what kind of answers I get so that I can humor myself, humor you guys, and just kind of see what people have to say. Before I get into that though, I do want to remind you that I release videos every Thursday and Saturday. That's Thursday and Saturday. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the newest videos I release, and also hit the notification bell, because we all know if you don't hit the notification bell, you might not get the notification about the new video. So just hit the bell. Hit the bell somewhere here. I think it's over here. Okay, so let's see what Google has to say about why rich people are jerks. Okay, so I'm on Google right now and I'm gonna type it in and see what comes up. So, why are... oh my gosh, the stuff that's coming up already. Okay, so why are rich countries... why are countries rich? Why are rich people depressed? Why are rich people depressed? I don't know. We should say that for another video. So why are rich people jerks? Let's see. Are rich people worse human beings? Well, we have decided it was time to find out whether or not rich people are actually more likely to be jerks. Have you ever been cut off? I don't know which one to click. Science closes in on the reason rich people are jerks. Oh, so there's a science behind it. This is from all the way 2011 though. Let's just click it and see. Science closes in on the reason rich people are jerks. I can't believe they actually did a study about this. This is so funny. It's like a scientific study. Oh, I hope there's like headlines so I can just scroll through. This article sucks. I actually have to read the whole thing. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. A few weeks ago when I blogged about social psych study that found... oh, now you guys are going to see that I struggle at reading out loud. A few weeks ago when I blogged about a social psych study that found people have more empathy when they feel low in status, I wasn't aware how much work is being done in other fields on the rich a-hole, because YouTube, you can't swear, problem in social science. Earlier this month, for example, the evolutionary theorist David Sloan Wilson reported a very similar finding. Wilson's student Dan O'Brien was researching cooperative behavior in local primate species called... this is boring. I need an article with like headings and like lists. Let's go to... are rich people more jerks on Dig. I like to be jerks. It is a biased perception. Or no, is it a biased perception, or is it actually true that rich people are ruder and less generous than the poor? It's a video though. Okay, let's watch a little bit and see what they say.
Do you ever get the sense that rich people are more likely to be rude or self-centered? Well, we decided It was time to find out whether or not rich people are actually more likely to be jerks. Ever been cut off while driving? It was more likely by a Mercedes than a 20-year-old junker. Multiple studies have found that the
Whoops, my alarm clock just went off. 1 second.
more expensive your car is, the more likely you are to not only cut in front of other vehicles, but also drive through crosswalks when a pedestrian is waiting to cross. In one study, those with the most expensive cars cut pedestrians off 42% of the time. Now, imagine you waited in a line for 10 minutes to buy a coffee and a muffin at Starbucks, but when you're a couple of blocks away, you realize that the clerk gave you change for $20 rather than for the $10 you gave him. Do you A, savor your coffee and the free $10, or B, go back and return the change? It turns out those with more money are more likely to respond that they would keep it. And the amount of money you have also affects how much you look at people. Using Google Glass to track eye movements of people in a study walking around the block, wealthy people spend significantly less time in social gazes. In other words, they're more likely to straight up ignore other people. But
that I can see, because when someone's rich, they walk with their it's like they don't even have to acknowledge you when you walk by them. They just walk and they're just on their phone, just as if you don't exist. They're just doing their own thing, walking like they're on a mission. They don't have to talk to anybody. They don't have to smile or give a half smile to anybody. So I could totally see that. I don't know, it's so funny because I'm someone who wants to be rich myself, but and who knows what's gonna happen once I actually get there, but I've always felt that no matter how rich I get, I'm always gonna be very humble and very nice, just because I'm not someone who was born into a rich family or anything. So I feel I don't know, I just don't think it would change me that much, but let's see what else he says.
certainly the rich are more generous than the poor, right? Though the rich may cut a bigger check, in the US, nationwide survey data shows that the wealthy contribute a lower percentage of their household income. For example, a household that makes under $25,000 in the US donate around 4.2% of their earnings, but those making $100,000 or more only contribute 2.7%.
See, I don't really agree with the point that he's going with there, because somebody who makes $100,000, the same percentage for someone who makes $50,000 a year would give more money to charity. So they probably still donate the same amount in terms of dollars, but the percentage of their income is less. So that's why that happens. Because think about it, if you make millions of dollars, let's say you make $10 million a year, are you going to donate 420,000 of that away, like if you tried to do 4.2%? So I mean, I can see why that one's a bit biased. I don't know. Well, some people still would donate, so kudos to them.
Even when people are arbitrarily put in charge or given power, it makes them more selfish. Imagine you're put into a group of 3 people to make some important policy recommendations, and you're told you're in charge of the group. A plate of 5 yummy cookies gets put in front of you, and naturally everybody takes one. Do you take another? It turns out in studies, the person in charge is most likely to take the 4th cookie while everybody leaves the last one on the plate to eat one.
That is so true. Oh my gosh. So people who are richer tend to think they can get away with more. That's what I think. So they'll go ahead and grab that extra cookie while, you know, not thinking about the other people who are more like, oh no, should I take it, or am I gonna look greedy if I take it, or whatever. But I feel like a rich person would just be like, I'm taking that last cookie, because they're just so used to buying their way through things that they think that they can get away with anything. It's kind of actually similar with like people who are managers or bosses or in charge or supervisors. They tend to think, oh, I can get away with it, so I'm just gonna take the extra sandwich or whatever it is. So that I agree with for sure.
Are rude people just more likely to become rich, or does being rich make you worse? Counter to what we might believe, people who are the most likely to gain power in a group are actually the emotionally intelligent ones who focus on others, practice generosity, and aren't the bullies.
See, exactly. That is what I'm gonna be. If I'm rich, when I'm rich, I'm gonna be emotionally intelligent still, because I did not start off rich.
Studies even find that college students at the top of the social hierarchy tend to be the most pro-social and compassionate versus selfish. It all goes back to our hunter-gatherer roots, where individuals who share food and resources rise in ranks. But this leads to the power paradox. To gain power, you need empathy, but once you feel powerful, you become more self-focused. You can even see this in the brain when using fMRI scans. Areas like the prefrontal cortex that activate when understanding mental states or considering the thoughts of others show less activity in those with a higher social class. Poor people also have a greater ability to assess the emotional states of others, have more interpersonal interactions, greater eye contact, head nodding, and laughing, compared to richer people who are more likely to self-groom, fidget, or doodle. One possible explanation for this.
That I agree with. Yeah, I feel like honestly, I've met some of the nicest poor people before, like people who don't have much, but they're still so sweet, and aware of, you know, what's going on around them. So yeah, I can see that for sure. But the thing is though, is like, what causes that? Like, what is it that makes people become that way? I need to rewind what he just said about this prefrontal cortex
This
thing.
in the brain when using fMRI scans. Areas like the prefrontal cortex, empathy, but once you feel powerful, you become more self-focused. You can even see this in the brain when using fMRI scans. Areas like the prefrontal cortex that activate when understanding mental states or considering the thoughts of others show less activity in those with a higher social class. Poor people also have a greater ability to assess the emotional states of others. Possible explanation for this is that people with less materials, resources, and privilege rely more on others to meet their needs, and this creates a pressure to be more emotionally intelligent. So,
that is true. I can see that as well, because they're more dependent on others to fit their daily needs. They have to be more empathetic and, oops, sorry, I just spit. They have to be more empathetic and they have to be more emotionally intelligent, whereas like rich people, they don't need anybody for anything. So, or at least they think they don't need anybody for anything. And so that's why they end up not being socially aware of how they're treating people and not paying attention to how they're impacting people or what's going on around them. It sucks, but it's the truth.
So, of course, not all rich people are jerks, but in general, as your wealth increases, your empathy decreases, making rich people statistically more likely to be jerks.
See, and yeah, that puts a good point, because I don't want any of you guys to think that she thinks all rich people are jerks. I know rich people. I don't think they're all jerks. I just think that the majority of them are, and I just thought it'd be funny just to kind of poke fun at it. But no, I don't think all rich people are jerks. Just some. Or a lot. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Let's click one more thing and see what comes up. Will rich people make you a jerk? Entrepreneur Magazine. Let's see what it says. Ooh. Wealthy people are dishonest. Wealthy people are corrupt. Wealthy people are selfish. Ugh. No, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that at all. I don't think all wealthy people are corrupt and dishonest and selfish. I mean, I think they're rude, like I said, but I don't think they're all these things. Is that really true? Recent events point to this. Damn! There's something about wealth and privilege that makes you feel like you're above the law, that allows you to treat others like they don't exist. This is a quote by Dasher Keltner, a psychologist at the University of California. Ooh, that makes it seem terrible. To researchers who study wealth and power, it's dismaying but not surprising, because it tracks so closely with our findings. The effective power is sadly one of the most reliable laws of human behavior. That's sad. I don't want to be a rich person who's, you know, corrupt and treating people badly. And see, when they talk about rich or wealth, or, you know, well, no, I don't know. Because the way I see it is that power is very different from wealth, but then there's a lot of people who are wealthy and have power. So it's like, power does corrupt, but do all people get power from being rich? No. So there's a difference, I think. Yeah, this article is seeming very, very discouraging and disappointing. Wealth has different effects on people. For some, it turns them into jerks. For a few others, it makes them even jerkier. So that pretty much means you're doomed to become a jerk, is what that sentence means. But for most good entrepreneurs, being wealthier enables us to make better decisions and be better business people. Yes, yes, for better decisions, and yes, for better business people. So I think that's it for this video. Sorry for this video being a little bit random and kind of like, what is she going at? You never know what Google's gonna say. So I just kind of went with the flow. Let's just see what comes up. when I just go to Google and just type rich people. Rich people problems. Let's just see what happens when I search for rich people. Rich people, richest man in the world. Who is the richest person in the world? Richest woman in the world. Richest person in India. Richest man in world history. Richest Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, so that's a little bit more positive. Okay, anyway, so we'll end the video right there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit different than what I normally do, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about the topic of rich people and their jerkiness, if that's a word. But yeah, with that being said, I release videos every Thursday and Saturday, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on these new videos, and hit the notification bell so that you also get notified, because just subscribing apparently is not enough these days. Press thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and yeah, that's it. Keep being magic. Bye. I'm just joking. I was just practicing for once I'm rich so that I could be a jerk. I'm joking. I'm not actually gonna be a jerk though. Bye. While I'm also sitting here, I do want to clarify my stance on rich people and wealthiness. I'm someone who has been very open about wanting to be rich one day and striving to be wealthy one day through creating multiple businesses and working my way up to get to that point. It's something that I'm open about. I do believe that having a lot of money is the key to freedom, because when you're rich, you can do whatever you want. Oh wait, that just proves why a lot of them become jerks. Okay, no, I just want to live in freedom. I want to be free to travel whenever I want, not have any sort of, you know, time limitations or worried about my bills, and you know, be able to be like, oh, I want to do this, and I can go. I don't have to worry about my job telling me not to do it and all this stuff. So with that being said, I want to clarify that I don't think there's anything wrong with being rich at all, because I literally want to be rich myself. It's just, I thought it would be fun to see, you know, if there's a science behind why rich people are jerks. So just clarifying that. There's nothing wrong with being rich. I also want to be rich, but I think that when I'm rich, I'm not going to become a jerk. I think I'm going to still be really humble. So anyway, just clarifying that.